You're valuable. I'm valuable. And we need to make sure that we come through this. We all come through this stronger and healthier, and with a better understanding of how to take care of ourselves and to take care of others when things like this happen. So I've been putting this one off for a while, but it's time to let you know where I have been hiding and what I've been up to. We've been back from Kenya about almost 2 months. Next week, just a couple days from now, we'll have been back 2 months. And I know I promised you guys and teased you guys with all this wonderful video footage that I do have. And yet, in the 2 months since we've been back, I have not shared or posted anything from Kenya, let alone anything from here. Just a few hiccups and lifestyle changes since I've been back. So in an effort of full disclosure and to let you know where I have been and why I haven't been posting, I thought I'd give you an update. So right before we left, I was having some issues health-wise. I was blaming them on the after effects of COVID. Things were starting to make me a little nervous before we left, but there was no way I was going to replan the trip. So we went to Kenya. Everything was wonderful. I even actually felt better there. I don't know if it was just the incredible inspiration and joy of being somewhere new. I know it had a lot to do with the foods they eat there, as you'll find out as I get into more of what's been going on. But as soon as I got back, I was a little overwhelmed and had a lot of catch up to do and felt like I needed to get unpacked and get the house cleaned and all this stuff. And while all that was going on, I wasn't taking the time to eat right, which I haven't been, and we'll kind of get into that too. I haven't been eating right for a while, and I've known that. But I really got sloppy after we got back. I was always in a hurry. Instead of packing lunches, I was running off to fast food. I was making processed foods for dinner just because it was quick and easier. And a couple days into that, I really started getting sick. I started dropping about a pound a day, kicked my calorie intake up over 3,000, was still losing weight. So after about a week of this and the whole time trying to get into my primary care physician, they were trying to push me off for like 3 weeks. And at which time I told them, I'll be like 80 pounds then. That's not going to work for me. I was on the way home from work one day and I decided, you know what, I need to stop by an urgent care. If they're not going to get me in, I need to find out what's going on. So I went to urgent care. They did a preliminary check. She was very unhappy with my EKG and asked me what emergency room I wanted to be transported to. So that was kind of a shock. I knew something was wrong. I didn't realize that there was something that wrong that they wanted to transport me by ambulance. I told her I didn't feel that an ambulance was necessary. I could drive myself to the ER, which I did. Obviously, she called ahead because I went to Mercy here in Muskegon, just a jam-packed, humongous ER waiting room, and within 5 minutes, I was pulled back. So lots of tests, lots of blood work, and came back that I was actually in what's called diabetic ketoacidosis. So my body was not recognizing the fuel that I was putting in it, and it was just eating itself. So 4 days later, I left the hospital with all kinds of meds, I will show you one of them here in a second. But so yeah, while I was there, it was constant blood glucose checks. Every hour I'm getting my finger pricked. Every 4 hours I was getting lab work for the first over 48 hours that I was there. Things slowed down to every 8 hours for lab work after that. But yeah, two of my biggest phobias on the planet are spiders and needles. So I was constantly being poked and jabbed, and I was on an insulin drip, all kinds of fun stuff. So, needless to say, I've had to make some major lifestyle changes. Needle. Yeah, there it is. So yeah, this was the injection I was having to take 4 times a day. Not fun. You don't want to get to this point. Take care of you. So yeah, this was the pen, the insulin pen that I was using, and the needle. Scary thing about this needle, in the hospital, they kind of give you a quick training before they send you home. Well, they trained me on a 4mm needle. That's much, much smaller than a 1/2-inch needle. So I got home that first night and just about had a heart attack when I took these out of the package and went to give myself my first injection on my own. Yeah, I'm glad these are over. I hope they continue to be over. And yeah, I don't want to go back. Well, I guess I should start from the beginning. So when I first got out of the hospital, needle phobia, I was on 4 insulin shots a day that I had to self-administer with the 1/2-inch needle that I showed. Yeah. So needless to say, the first week or so while I was on that protocol was extremely disturbing for me. I think just the stress of having to do that and having to poke myself with a needle, inject myself, actually increased my blood sugar because of the stress. I did get into a new doctor at a new, not Spectrum, because Spectrum's the one that was pushing me off. So I have a new doctor now, and he immediately took me off most of the shots. So the 3 during the day I was taken off of right away by him because he saw how much it stressed me out, and just had to continue the once a day injection. And actually he tried to get me off of that, but the meds that he transferred me to, you kind of have to step up to. So for the first month I had to stay on the once a day injection. The other med is a weekly injection, but that one's awesome. It's a pen. You don't see the needle. You just push it against your skin, push a button, it goes in, does its thing, and comes out, and you're done. So I do that weekly now. As of last week, I finally got off of any of the 1/2-inch dang long needle injections of insulin. Still a little high, especially in the afternoons, but definitely way better than I was when I was freaking out about that evening injection. My blood sugar would just steadily go up all day. As soon as I got off the evening injection, it leveled out quite a bit. So I know that stress is a huge factor in getting my numbers leveled out. So yeah, so that's what you haven't heard from me. I know I need to get in and start creating again. That's going to help get me back to my normal. I just have had so many shocks and changes over the last 2 months that it's been a struggle. I've tried, and I have taken a few photographs and worked with the dogs. And there'll be more of that coming because we're hunting again this weekend. But I just, and I had a few obligations that I had to take care of as well. So I have been shooting with my with my still camera. I just haven't been working on video, and I am hoping that this changes that. I think part of it was just the fear that nobody knew what was going on, and I disappeared for so long, and getting back into it just kind of I don't know, I was kind of apprehensive about what that looked like, and letting you guys know why I was gone. Part of me said, just jump back in and don't say anything. But the other part of me, my channel is all about what's going on with me. And yeah, I just share. I'm an open book. Is what it is. So yeah, that's where I've been. I'm on a whole food plant-based diet now. I'm hoping that eventually that will get me off at least the majority of my drugs. If not, fingers crossed, all of them. The more I've been reading, the more, I've always known that we eat very poorly. One of the things I was reading about when I was reading some of this information about whole foods plant-based, and there's a great movie, Forks Over Knives, and a good book that I read is Eat to Live. Eat to Live. So comparing what people die of in countries like that versus what people die of here, they're dying of starvation, they're dying of viruses. They're not dying of heart disease, diabetes, and cancer. That's our diet. That's what's driving those numbers here. And it just, I think I knew it in the back of my mind, but to see it in writing and to see the numbers, it was just like, oh, wow, yeah, something needs to change. So again, vegan, plant-based, whole foods. Really excited. I didn't think my husband would be down for it. And I'm sure, in fact, I even tell him to cheat once when I'm not around, or, for lunches and stuff. But he's cooking for me. He's eating with me. He's following along the same way. So that's exciting too, because you choked up a little bit, because I know he's going to get healthier from it as well. So yeah. That's why you haven't heard from me. I've been trying to make sure I find the time to work out every day. I have to prepare meals. I can't, so these are big time sucks. And even before this, again, that's what drove me to eating poorly, was I just feel like I don't have the time in the day to do everything I need to do. But I learned very quickly and very frighteningly that, some things you have to take the time to do. So I do have to work out, and I do have to cook fresh foods. So again, that's another reason I'm trying to balance out this time and finding the time to get everything done. I also know that this is my passion. Photography, videography, sharing my art, sharing my life, is a huge part of who I am, and I have to find the time for that as well. And until today, that's been a bit of a struggle, but and it'll probably continue to be a struggle. But I am working on getting that back, that work-life health balance. It's not just the work-life balance, it's the work-life and the health balance. We can't risk our health trying to balance out the other two. It just doesn't work. So it's kind of a PSA. This isn't just about me. This isn't just about what's happened to me over the last year or so. And I know it was the last year or so that kind of triggered all this, because, and we blame everything on COVID, and I don't want to blame COVID, but really, that's when this all started. We all are feeling the stress of the pandemic. We're feeling the stress of, depending on our situation, feeling a little overwhelmed at work, or feeling overwhelmed at the fact that we don't have work right now for some of us. There's just a lot of physical and mental effects of this pandemic. And as a PSA, just share, another reason I want to share my experience is reach out, talk to people. If you feel like something's not right, it probably isn't. Go to the doctor. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself, because we all, excuse me. It's so hard. We all need the self-care right now. We all need to take care of ourselves. We need to be kind to others, and to make sure that we're taking others' feelings into account. It's this huge circle of, the unexpected. All of the stuff has hit a lot of people really hard, and it continuing to do so. I've been pretty nervous lately because since this pandemic started, even though we're coming towards the end, we keep hearing that it's getting better. I physically know more people in the last 2 weeks that have been under quarantine, either with it or with somebody that has it, than I ever have throughout this pandemic. It's not gone by any means, but we have to work on making sure that we know how to care for ourselves through it. And if we start seeing warning signs, or if we start feeling our health slipping, we reach out, we make sure that we're getting that taken care of. I put off my annual visit last year because of the pandemic. Maybe that would have, maybe the flags would have been there before I got to the point I got. I got to the point where I don't want to think about what could have happened if I waited any longer. It was affecting my heart. It was affecting, everything. And DKA, or diabetic ketoacidosis, you can slip into a coma quite quickly and easily. So yeah, good thing I wasn't driving down the road, passed out, heart attack, who knows what could have happened. So fortunately, even though it was later than it should have been, I knew that there was a problem, and I went to the doctor to get it taken care of. Please, people, if you feel you need mental or physical help, get it, because you're valuable. I'm valuable. And we need to make sure that we come through this. We all come through this stronger and healthier, and with a better understanding of how to take care of ourselves and to take care of others when things like this happen. So yeah, that's where I've been. I will be sharing this sometime this weekend or Monday on my usual day. And then I may share this right away and hopefully get something real up on Monday. But I don't want to push myself this weekend either, because, yeah. Can't believe I've been talking for 18 minutes, so I will be cutting this, chopping this up and cleaning it up and doing whatever I need to do. Yeah, so hopefully I'm back on track. I think this, just sharing and getting it out there, was a huge part of it. Again, I didn't want to just hop back in and not give you a reason why I disappeared. But I also was not the most comfortable about sharing all of this. So everyone have a beautiful day. Take care of yourselves. Remember, you are important. You can't help anyone else unless you are strong and healthy and you help yourself first. So take care of you. I'll take care of me, and I will see you again soon.